So the script I looked at is called Fade to Black by Alan Oliviers. So here I just have some script extracts of the main action which takes place in the scene. So the basic story behind it is that in the past there was a nun and a priest in a church who had a secret marriage against the church, and she was like deeply in love with him, but then she catches him like cheating on her with a 16-year-old girl, and because of this she ends up violently killing the priest and the girl and then committing suicide. So then obviously there are rumours that the nun still haunts the church. So here are just like script extracts where these killings happen and her suicide. So obviously it's quite a dark story of haunting, and which involves murders and suicide. So this is the disequilibrium of the story, which will feature in our trailer. There's some parts here about death and the killings in the story, which obviously some of these scenes could be cut to advertise this in the trailer. So here it talks about like the props that could be used. So in the killings, things like a rosary is used and a torch, and obviously these are things that we could obviously get a hand of, which would therefore make our trailer look good and like it's real. The basic synopsis of the story is that it's a game show and they have to survive the night in a haunted church. And then obviously they realise it is haunted, and then there are 3 contestants in the final, and then one survives. The other 2 are murdered, which we can obviously show maybe one murder and then keep the rest as a mystery because we don't want to show that there is one survivor. But yeah, obviously the resolution isn't shown in the trailer, but I just put it here so we have an idea of where we want it to head and what not to show. So the main bits that will feature in the trailer will be part of the equilibrium, just that there's 3 contestants, and then the disequilibrium showing of the haunting and scenes from that. So there aren't many characters in the story, which is obviously quite good because then we can just use ourselves and others. We don't have to worry about getting too many people. The 3 main characters are Amy, Jacob and Michael, who are around the same age, and they obviously want to win the money. And then there is one antagonist who is the Sister Teresa. So obviously we could it's quite easy to dress people up as this because we could just make them look like a nun or something. Based on this, my target audience is of 15 to 25-year-olds. I've done this because, especially in the 20-year-olds, they may be able to relate to our characters as needing money and wanting to like compete against others to get money, because it's quite a relatable thing. So therefore, the age certificate is 15. As although there are death and murders, you won't actually see gory parts of this. It's not a gory film, but there will be like parts where you know that people are like being chased or murdered. The gender is both male and female. Both male and female characters are featuring in the film. It's not gender specific. People may relate, maybe females may relate more to Sister Teresa as being hurt and jealous, so maybe that will appeal to a female audience stronger. Also it will appeal to fans of thriller and psychological horror, because that is the main like genres of the film, which I will talk about now. So the main subgenres, there are typical conventions of a thriller, the idea of like having a mystery, because obviously that people didn't know if it was true or not, and it's kind of investigating because people want to know if it's true. It's been like a rumour, so there's a thriller. And then obviously psychological horror, because churches and demons and that are very typical conventions of psychological horror, like possession and demons. And obviously there are many like symbols of like religious items in the film, such as the rosary beads or like the Bible or candles. So obviously this represents that thriller and psychological horror. So I thought this would just be practical obviously for us, because we could obviously do like filmings in a church. There's not too many characters, we can use the props which are involved, and so yeah.